Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, your go-to resource for childcare center owners and directors seeking success at their centers. Each week, we dive into the world of childcare management, sharing valuable tips, tools, resources, and strategies to help you build enrollment, retain top teachers, and streamline your operations. With a casual and lighthearted approach, we tackle the challenges you face from staffing and enrollment to business skills and time management. Join us as we unlock the secrets to creating a thriving childcare center. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together. This is the Directors Club podcast. Hey there, it's Noelle from the Directors Club, and I have been seeing on Facebook a lot of childcare centers struggling with attendance, even though you have a great staff or you are fully staffed. Like you'll come in Monday and there'll be 4 or 5 people calling out. And you know what? I think that's normal in our industry, but it does get excessive with some of them. And when someone starts to have a pattern, what do you do about it? A lot of people have been asking about attendance policies and strategies and excessive absenteeism. I thought today we would tackle attendance troubles, strategies for managing employee callouts at your childcare center. Managing employee attendance is a crucial aspect of running our centers, as we know. That reliability and consistency of our staff directly impacts us and the quality of care at our childcare centers. And when our teachers excessively call out, it can create significant challenges to us. I'm going to explore a few strategies to address this issue, including how to determine when absenteeism becomes excessive, what to do when employees call out frequently, and how to motivate. And we can go through this debate on, do you reward those with excellent attendance? Because if you're from New England, you know what see, like my husband would probably throw me out the window. Bill Belichick, the coach. He always says, do your job. Why do you need an award for showing up to work? First of all, you have to define excessive absenteeism. Before addressing the issue of excessive absenteeism, it's important to establish a clear threshold for what constitutes excessive. So typically, absenteeism becomes a concern when you have a teacher who is regularly absent without valid reasons. Consider defining it. What is excessive to you? You can put in place a policy or update one you have and make sure it includes what does being absent mean? That's like not being present at work. What does excessive absenteeism have? How we determine it at our center is however many days you earn off. Say you earn 10 paid days off a year working for me. We add 5 to that. Whatever that number is, that anything over that is excessive in a 12-month period. From January 1st to December 31st, you can take your 10 paid days, you can have all the holidays that we have, but if you add 5 more without a reason, and just calling out on Mondays, patterns of Fridays, that extra 5, you're going to get spoken to. So, attendance expectations. Employees are expected to arrive on time, right? We're telling them to come on time. Schedule time off properly. Don't just text or not follow the directions or fill out the form. Employees may be required to provide a doctor's note or other equivalent documentation to support any extended absences, like for illness or any other things. And typically, like in Massachusetts, we can require a note on the 3rd day. We can't get one before that. Legally. Management reserves the right to request verification at its discretion, can be one of your policies. We now have what is excessive. We're saying 5 over the limit. We're giving you attendance expectation. Come on time, do your time off, give us a note after 3 days. And now we're going to get what are the consequences of violating these rules. Upon reaching the 5 unplanned absences, employees will receive a written warning. And then after reaching 15 unplanned, if it keeps going up, you're going to get into some disciplinary action, which may include written warnings and suspensions. Continued excessive absenteeism or patterns of consistently calling out on certain days may result in termination of employment. So, write up some policies similar to that, or would it update yours? Then at the next staff meeting, address the calling out issue in front of everybody. Hit this thing head on. You do not want to just not address it. Every single person sitting at your staff meeting knows that there's a problem with attendance. So this way, those abusing it hear it, and those that are doing awesome hear that you're addressing it. So you're addressing this big issue in front of the two audiences that you want to address it in front of. And I know some of the girls that are abusing it are going to be like, I don't know who she's talking about, not me. But we all know. All right, so here's some things. Maintain privacy when you do this. Avoid mentioning any specific employees by name when discussing attendance issues with the entire team. Instead, focus on the importance of attendance and the center's policies. Emphasize support. Encourage employees to reach out for support if they are facing difficulties. Maybe somebody's just going through something that you don't even know. Reinforce the policy. Remind the team in this meeting that the center's attendance policies are this, or I've updated it to that, including your excessive absenteeism, define it, and the consequences that go along with it. If you're going to change a policy in this meeting, I would have everyone sign off on a piece of paper that says, I have received the new attendance policy and I understand it. Sign and date, put it in their file. Always have a positive tone about this. Don't make this about you. Don't make it how hard it is on you, even though it is. Frame the discussion in a positive tone, highlighting the benefits of maintaining good attendance, teamwork, and how it contributes to the overall success and satisfaction of working in a positive environment. And then lastly, offer solutions at this meeting. Provide informative resources available to the employees to help them manage the time. Remember, maybe someone has an issue that you don't know about and they need the Paid Family Leave Act, or if you have a part-time option open, or any assistance programs. All right, so we've created the policy, defined what excessive is, told our whole team, and now we're living life and they're calling out. Identify the root causes. Understanding the reasons behind excessive absenteeism is essential. Some common causes include health issues, family emergencies, sometimes even dissatisfaction in the workplace, burnout, or mental health issues. Open communication with employees can help uncover the underlying issues and inform your approach to addressing the problem. All right, so how can we create a supportive work environment in this? So to mitigate excessive absenteeism, it's crucial to create a supportive, engaging work environment. You can consider encouraging open communication and fostering an atmosphere where employees feel comfortable discussing their concerns and challenges. You could provide opportunities for work-life balance. Maybe you offer flexible scheduling if feasible. Some centers are doing that 10-hour workday. Or you could try and find ways that they can get time off with like unplanned time off. Consider providing benefits like, if you can, paid time, sick time. All those things sometimes can go a long way. They might not use them as much. And recognize and reward good attendance. That's like the $1 million question, and I'm going to get into, because attendance reward system can be an effective tool for good attendance, but I think sometimes it has its pros and cons. We're rewarding people for what Bill Belichick says is doing their jobs. You can think about this. I think it's nice to recognize people that don't frequently call out. You also don't want to encourage people not calling out and then they get burnt out. This is such a fine line, but I wanted to include it on the podcast in case it was something that you wanted to implement. But you could create an attendance reward system and establish like clear criteria. Define specific attendance goals that employees must meet to receive the award. And choose a meaningful award. Offer incentives that resonate with the staff. Maybe you go out once a year and you say, okay, if I was ever to reward you, what would you want to get? What kind of gift cards? What kind of candy? Would you rather have money? Would you rather have this? Would you rather have that? Think of things that you could ask them, and then maybe that could be one of the gifts. You could also create a communication system, clearly explain the attendance reward system to everybody, and emphasize the benefits. And then lastly, find a way to track attendance to make sure that you have accurate records and ensure fairness when administering this. All right, when employees consistently call out, it's essential to address the issue proactively. You could host a meeting with them and say, we're going to have a little chat about you excessively calling out. Go over what the issue, why you're talking to them. Review the policy with them. Ensure that they understand it. Ask them why they're calling out so much. You could attempt to, if it's like consistent and not stopping, you could write them up. You could put them on some type of disciplinary action. You could give them a verbal warning, a written warning, and then eventually termination. Make sure that whatever you decide to do with these patterns, that you document the employees' files. Lastly, supporting your reliable employees. Recognize and reward employees that with exceptional attendance records to maintain a motivated and dedicated work staff. These are things like that I'm thinking of is there was one day we were having a pattern before COVID, like this staffing crisis everyone talks about. It is bad now, but before COVID, I thought it was pretty bad too. And we had this group, they called out literally all the time on Mondays and Fridays. I would kid around and say it was like the Monday, Friday illness. But this one Monday, I just literally had it. A bunch of them had called out again, trying to deal with it. But Monday's pizza day. And so I ordered pizza. I asked everyone, I'm like, thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry that we're in this situation. We were like struggling with trying to do breaks. The deal, I don't have to explain it. Bought the whole center of pizza. And I can't tell you that I wasn't even thinking like, I just was so appreciative of them. And I'm like, I'm going to get everyone, see if everyone wants pizza. So everyone got pizza. And at the end of the day, as everyone's leaving, they're like, oh, thank you so much for that. That meant a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, it was so cheap just to give it to you. I wasn't even thinking of the benefits of it. And it really meant a lot to them. On those days that staffing stuff, recognize and walk around and be like, hey, you can even just verbally say it to them. Really appreciate you coming in. I'm sorry that we've had these call outs. I am trying to address it. And then get on the horn and start interviewing as many people as possible to replace them. Excessive absenteeism can pose significant challenges to us, as we know. But with a thoughtful approach, you can address some of the issues. You're never going to solve it with certain people. Let them go. I'm not going to start singing that song from Frozen, but let them go. I know we're in a tough hiring market, but put a job ad out there, and because what's worse than what you have, right? Someone that never shows up and calls out consistently, or somebody you might have to train. By setting these clear expectations and creating a supportive work environment, and potentially implementing a reward system, and always addressing the issue, like never just ignore it, you can really create a culture of reliability and dedication amongst your staff. And ultimately, a motivated and committed team will provide the best possible care and education for the childcare center. I hope you learned something today about excessive calling out and different ways that you can address it. I think the biggest way is defining what excessive is, what it looks like. And again, my thought process is 5 days on top of whatever paid time you would give without any, like, obviously you're not going to do that to someone that's been on maternity leave or had some big issue. It's, you know, the drill. It's those teachers that consistently call out. But I hope that you're able to build your policy up a little bit more and reintroduce it to your team. Thanks for listening. If you have a second, I would love for you to rate this show. Trying to get more ratings on our show because the podcast rankings are going way up, and excited about that. I feel like I'm talking about the topics you want to hear about. You have my email in the show notes. Email me. I would love to hear from you and let me know. I want to hear about this. Thank you for joining us on your topic to my list that I'm working. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'm cheering you on. Bye, everybody. For your childcare center. To access even more resources and take your center to new heights, visit our website at thedirectorsclub.net. There you'll find a wealth of exclusive content, training programs, and support tailored specifically to childcare center owners and directors. Don't miss out on this opportunity to unlock your center's full potential. Remember, success starts here at the Directors Club.